No matter how acclaimed or how many viewers a TV show might seem to have, fans generally won't rest easy until they've seen formal confirmation that their favorite series is indeed returning for another volume of episodes. And with the mind-boggling number of shows that seem to get the chop every single month, it can honestly be tough to keep track of them all. So let's take a look at some that wound up on the chopping block recently. I'm Ewan, you're watching What Culture, and here are 10 TV shows that just got cancelled. Number 10. The Boys. Now, to be completely fair to Amazon's hit superhero series The Boys, creator Eric Kripke always had a rough idea that the show would run for 5 seasons, yet also acknowledged the possibility that it could go on for longer. But the other month, Amazon confirmed that not only would the show be returning for season 5, it would indeed be the last. And honestly, for as entertaining as The Boys has been, it does feel like the right time to start winding things down. There's only so long that the Homelander arc can keep going before audiences start losing interest, and the show's increasingly on-the-nose allusions to real-life politics clearly have a limited shelf life. Amazon allowing Kripke one more season to tie things off, all while exploring other avenues of the franchise, such as with recent hit spin-off show Gen V, seems like a best-case scenario for fans. Number 9. Constellation. Apple TV Plus is absolutely crushing it on the sci-fi front, though they sadly can't all be winners. Case in point, the Noomi Rapace starring thriller series Constellation opened to broadly positive reviews, though audience reception to the season overall proved somewhat more wobbly. Despite Rapace's strong performance in the lead role of an astronaut who returns to Earth only to find that things are, well, a bit different, the balance between sci-fi intrigue and family melodrama became increasingly uneven. Given the show's polarizing response, it's easy to assume that many didn't bother finishing the entire season, which left a lot of questions unresolved while teeing up a second season which, as we now know, won't be happening. Even with Apple's heavy investment into the genre, it wasn't exactly a shock when the streamer confirmed the other month that Constellation wasn't coming back for season 2. It's a classic case of a show that touted a compelling premise and strong lead performance, but lacked the follow-through to make the most of either. Number 8. Arcane. Netflix's League of Legends themed animated series Arcane launched to rave reviews in 2021, while earning itself a legion of fans far beyond the bounds of the video game itself. It even became the first streaming series to win a Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Animated Program, and so there was a fair expectation that Arcane would be sticking around for the long haul. But when the trailer for Arcane's long-awaited second season dropped in early June, fans were shocked to see it described as the, quote, final chapter. Indeed, rather than ride the gravy train for every drop it was worth, Arcane was bowing out after just 2 seasons. Yet this wasn't a decision made by Netflix due to poor ratings or brutal overheads. It was actually at the behest of the showrunners, who confirmed that the show was always created with a 2-season arc in mind. That this information wasn't made public until the trailer dropped, though, ensured that most fans were caught wildly off guard by the news. Number 7. CSI Vegas. The CSI franchise has been one of the most indefatigable mainstays of network TV for the last quarter century. But CSI Viva Las Vegas, a revival of the original William Peterson starring series, was cancelled back in April after just 3 seasons on the air. Granted, this shouldn't have been a huge surprise, given that Vegas's ratings have been a mere fraction of those scored by the original series during even its lowest point. This, combined with the industry's general trend of belt-tightening right now, made it a show that was simply too expensive to keep running. And with that, CSI as a brand goes into hibernation, even as CBS insists that it'll be back at some point in the future. Then again, given Vegas's departure from the forensic focus which made CSI such a hit in the first place, and streaming docuseries arguably filling the void for modern audiences, is there really even an appetite for CSI anymore? I don't know. Let us know down in the comments. Number 6. The Witcher. Back when it was first announced that Netflix was developing an adaptation of hit book and video game series The Witcher, showrunner Lauren Schmidt-Hissrich talked up a plan for the show to run for 7 seasons, allowing them to adapt all of the existing written material. But back in April, Netflix confirmed that the fantasy series would be wrapping up early with its 5th season, an announcement made before the 4th season had even premiered. Despite being a strong ratings hit for Netflix out of the gate, viewership for the show dropped significantly for the divisive 3rd season. It likely didn't help that star Henry Cavill announced his departure from the show before season 3 even aired, either due to his planned and ultimately nixed return to the DC Extended Universe, or due to much rumored creative differences with Hissrich over The Witcher's overall direction. And so, expectations aren't exactly high for the upcoming 4th and 5th seasons, which will see Cavill replaced by Liam Hemsworth, a thankless gig on Hemsworth's part if there ever was one. It's reasonable to assume a further ratings decline as fans struggle to accept Hemsworth in the role of Geralt, and so one can't really blame Netflix for culling the show's tenure prematurely. The fact they're giving Hemsworth 2 seasons in the role up front is pretty generous, honestly. Number 5. Walker. Considering that the CW has been aggressively shedding its scripted originals in recent years since being acquired by Nexstar Media Group in favor of unscripted content and sports, it was just a matter of time before they canned their Jared Padalecki starring reboot of the 1990s Chuck Norris series, Walker, Texas Ranger. Oh, that's some good dad TV right there. The original, I mean. I've not seen this new one. And indeed, mere weeks before the 4th season of the current Walker wrapped up its run, the CW confirmed that it would not be returning for a 5th. Between the network's general departure from scripted content, Walker's sharply declining ratings season on season, and the utter lack of interest in recent prequel series Walker Independence, it's safe to say that Walker's time came and went, with all circumstances conspiring to ensure it won't be coming back. And though Padalecki's passionate fans might decry the cancellation, it definitely feels like a show that ran its course and honestly was lucky to get the 4 seasons that it did. Number 4. Netflix's Power Rangers reboot. At least the rest of the shows on this list actually made it to air for at least a season or 2. But Netflix's planned Power Rangers reboot, well, it's been given the chop before cameras have even started rolling. In June 2022, it was announced that Netflix and Hasbro were set to collaborate on a new Power Rangers series for the streaming platform, which would exist within the same cinematic universe as a planned movie to be directed by Jonathan Entwistle. Supernatural story editor Jenny Klein was hired to serve as the showrunner, but just recently, it was confirmed that the TV series won't be going ahead, at least not with Netflix. Hasbro is currently reconsidering the creative direction of the TV show before shopping it around to other partner companies, which doesn't exactly paint the most encouraging picture for this intended cinematic universe going forward. Number 3. NCIS Hawaii. CSI may be taking a long overdue nap right now, but another decades-long police procedural series is still going strong, with CBS building out a wider NCIS universe alongside the main ongoing series, which will start its 22nd season later this year. Yet spin-off NCIS Hawaii, which launched in 2021, ended up having a surprisingly short-lived run, with CBS announcing back in April, mere days before the 3rd season drew to a close, that it was cancelled. As for why, well, the network claims that it came down to the basics of money and viewing figures, with the show's expensive location shooting in Hawaii likely costing them a pretty penny. Despite not lagging too far behind the ratings of the flagship NCIS show, the numbers clearly just weren't working out. But with another spin-off, NCIS Sydney, already on the air, and 2 additional series in NCIS Origins and NCIS Tony and Ziva soon set to debut, CBS are clearly still all in on this franchise. Number 2. Tokyo Vice. Period crime drama series Tokyo Vice recently wrapped up its riveting second season, and though it more or less covered everything from Jake Adelstein's memoir on which the series is based, fans nevertheless hoped that HBO would bring it back for a third go-around. But the writing was very much on the wall throughout season 2, from HBO's lackluster efforts to promote the show to its mediocre ratings and overall lack of chatter on social media. The almost 2-year gap between seasons, a frustratingly common trend in the modern TV landscape, likely didn't help either. All the same, critics and those who actually watched the show passionately sang its praises, while crossing their fingers, toes, and everything else they could presumably cross that it would come back for a season 3. But to the surprise of basically no one, the network recently confirmed that Tokyo Vice had been axed. While the show at least ended on a relatively conclusive note, fans would have been thrilled to see it return for more. And number 1, The Girls on the Bus. Political drama series The Girls on the Bus, revolving around 4 female journalists who are covering a tight presidential race, made a rather low-key debut on Max earlier this year. Despite boasting a firecracker cast led by Melissa Benoit and Carla Gugino, there just wasn't much buzz about this show. This may be in part because it shied away from the factual account of Amy Chozik's source novel Chasing Hillary, and instead situated itself in a fictional alternate universe. Mixed reviews likely also didn't help, and even in an especially contentious election year, its vague timeliness couldn't do much to move the needle. The show failed to crack the Nielsen top 10, and so just 2 weeks after it wrapped up its first season the other month, Max confirmed that it would not be coming back for season 2, even though Chozik and co-creator Julie Plec were already hard at work on developing the next batch of episodes.